Kelly here, and I'm back with another video for Create a Smile. And ever since the Snow Dance kit came out, I cannot stop thinking about pairing it with coffee first. I don't know if it's just the chillier weather that's been upon us, though right now in Ohio it's like 70. Indian summer, praise Jesus. But anyway, in the Snow kit set, stamp set, there is a sentiment that says warm thoughts on a cold day. And all I could think is how cute that would be with this coffee first. So I wanted to build up some stamps, and while I love a little smiley face on this little one, I didn't really fit the idea I had for the card. So I'm just going to use a baby wipe and wipe off the little smiley face. And I just tap it with my fingers after I wipe it off to make sure there's no moisture left on the stamp that's going to get on my paper and leave an impression. So once I have that stamped down, I'm going to go ahead and mask it. And originally my game plan was to use all 4 of the cutie patootie little mugs that are in the set, but I just couldn't find a composition that worked well with all 4. So I settled for 3. I left off the little adorable one with the heart banner. You know, sometimes you got to make sacrifices. So just going through and stamping and masking those. And this is a really great way to just, get more out of your stamps. You hear me say that a bunch of times. I'm always all about getting more out of your stamps. And for this composition, I wanted this one, this little latte kind of container, to be taller than the rest. I wanted a grande. And so I'm just going to stamp the top portion of it. And then I'm going to get my ruler and a Copic multiliner, journaling pen, whatever, to extend it down to the little line, the little tick mark that I drew for myself so that everything would line up. Then once all my ink was dry, I did go ahead and erase that pencil mark that I had made. So this is just, it makes it appear to be bigger, and it gives me a more balanced design. So after that's done, I'm just going to remove all of my little masks, and I'm happy with the way that those look. I wanted to add a fun little bit of detail to that mug we took the face off of, just because right now it was just pretty plain. So I just drew with my journaling pen just a bunch of little half circles and a pattern. And then I'll add some more detailing with my white gel pen. But I just thought it would be fun to add a little something different. I wanted a more, what is the word I'm looking for, ladies and gents? Delicate pattern, because everything else is so large. So I just wanted something that was a little more intricate, I guess. So when I do my Copic coloring, I start with my lightest and I work out to my darkest. Most of the time I use the feathering technique, and that allows you to get a highlight, that lighter area you can see on the largest mug. So I just use the tip of my marker. I put in my shadows first with my lightest color. I go all the way down, feathering to my darkest color, from my darkest back out to my lightest. Now, you might find that it's not necessary to do that many layers. You might find that it's necessary for you to do more layers. However is going to work for you, that's what you should do. There is no right or wrong way to do it. As long as you're happy with the result at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So I decided to do my little scallops to color them like they were one gold piece. And I'm sure when I pulled those colors out, you were probably like, what are you even doing? These are crazy color combinations. But this is the color combination that I found that works best for me if I want to get like a true yellow gold color. And that is what I was going for, because at the end, I will put some Wink of Stella just on the gold areas. This card, I wanted to go with more jewel tones, more fall colors. Because, we are heading into the winter months here in the US of A. So, but it's hard for me because I don't own all the Copic markers. I don't think that you need to own all of the Copic markers, but I do think that you should have a good mix. And most of what I own is bright. So after I got my base collection, I really had to purposefully buy colors that maybe were a little darker or a little deeper, just to give myself some variation, because otherwise everything I colored would just be bright. I am sure you're probably thinking that everything I color is bright, and you would be right 90% of the time. That's just where my happy is. My happy is with the bright colors. But it's good to have options, and especially like this B series that I'm using here. It's a natural blending group. It's B 90, oh, come on now, Kelly, 95, 97, 99. And the reason that I bought that combination is because it is like the perfect blue combination for jeans when you're coloring people. So they all have their purpose. You just need to figure out if their purpose suits your need. Because Copics are expensive. So just, you buy the ones that you know you're going to use. But definitely I recommend at least getting a couple of colors that are a little darker than what you would normally use, because that's how you're going to get any kind of depth. You need some contrast. I thought that this little mug would be super pretty with navy with the gold. I think that that's, pretty classic color combination. And here, coloring the inside of the mug, you'll see me just hesitate there for a second, and it's because I'm trying to think about in real life how a mug looks. And it looks lighter on the outside edge. So that is how I colored it to give it, that 3D look. So at this point, I felt like my color combination was getting pretty masculine. So I wanted to just bring in like a little pop of pink. I don't have too many muted pink colors because, like I said, I like the bright ones, like hot pink. If I could put hot pink on everything, I probably would. And in the summer, I probably do. But I do have some ones that are more on the, I guess, purplish side. So that's what I ended up going with. And then because I have that dark color, that RV69, it really helps to make it more jewel toned. So I'm coloring the little label, banner, don't burn your hands off, warmer. I don't know what you call that thing. Coffee cup cozy. Yep, that's what we're going with. I'm coloring that pink, just for, to something else to bring in that little bit of color. And then I wanted the cup to look like it was cardboard. So I chose some warmer browns to do that. And then here again, it's going to be, the shading is going to be darker underneath that lid. So that's where I'm adding the majority of my shading, and then just a little bit on the sides. I'm not really going to put too much in the middle. It just wouldn't be there. The shadows just wouldn't be there. And then the last one, I'm bringing in some warm grays. I tend to gravitate toward the cool ones just because I feel like they're complementary to really bright colors. But for this, because those colors are they're such bold colors, I felt like the warm ones would be better. And again, for the dimension on that lid, it's going to be darker on the lip where it's behind it. So, it's just as easy as I literally just drew a line. So if you have any questions about any of those things, like Google them or look at them in real life and see how the shadows lie. That was the best advice that I got from my other friends who do Copic coloring. So I thought it would be fun to add some details with a white gel pen. So I made the little coffee cup cozy, since that's what we decided to call it, polka dotted, and then I added just a little bit of a scalloped edge to all of those circles, and then some dots to just kind of finish it off. It felt kind of empty to me, so I was just trying to fill that space. And then I added some white dots to the larger one as well. I re-outline everything. It's just how I roll. I feel like it helps make my colors pop, so I went ahead and did that. And then I wanted to give these mugs something to sit on. I chose to go with the E44s. They're a little more grayed browns, just because I didn't want it to compete with that one that I wanted to look like, cardboard colored, craft colored. So the first time I did it, I did not really like it. I was like, ooh, I need a lighter color. I don't have a lighter color in the E44 series. How am I going to do this? Well, the answer is E50. That's what I picked. I felt like it was the closest to what I had. So I just went right over everything with the E50, and it lightened it up a lot. Copics are transparent. You put a lighter color over a darker color, it's going to pull out some of the pigment. This pulled out a lot of pigment. So I decided I was just going to do it again. Like, there's nothing saying that you can't just go back over it. So once that was done, I mentioned earlier I added some clear Winkostella just to the gold pieces parts. I love the shimmer that lays down. I wish it photographed better. I think everybody wishes it photographed better. And then I decided I was going to go ahead and cut my card down. At this point, I hadn't cut off the top yet, but eventually I do that. I cut about half an inch off the top. I just made it a smaller card. it just made more sense to me. Like, I just felt like I had so much white space. So I'm putting this down on my card base, and the completed piece ended up being 4¼ by, no, 5¼ by 4. In the Snow Dance kit, there's this beautiful pattern paper. I struggle with using pattern paper, but I love the stripes, and my intended recipient for this card, I'm participating in the Share Handmade Kindness campaign that Jennifer McGuire is doing. So I wanted to send this card specifically to a crafty friend of mine, and she loves pattern paper. So I wanted to include just like a little snippet of it. This little gray strip is Simon Says Stamped Fog cardstock, and I felt like that was complementary to those warm grays that we used. And then because I have to match my black to my black, I seriously have problems, guys, for real. I just put in the little teeniest, tiniest little strip of black. And then I'll just go ahead and trim off the excess that's hanging off my card. The excess of the blue diagonal stripe, I just saved because it's a big enough piece to use on something else. I can't finish anything, you know this, without adding some Pretty Pink Posh clear sequins. And I have the two different sizes, the smaller and the larger. And then that's pretty much the card. I love the coffee cards. I hope that the person I send it to loves it as well. And I hope that you guys learned something. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment. And I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.